by the media in New York to be a supporter of Hamas. Anybody supports Hamas here? Anybody is a supporter of Hamas here? Anybody is a supporter of Hamas here? Hear that, Bill Clinton? We are all supporters of Hamas. Allahu Akbar. I wish they added that I'm also a supporter of Hezbollah. Anybody supports Hezbollah here? Anybody supports Hezbollah here? Takbir! Takbir!
Let me tell you quite candidly, because I think that when we talk about issues, we have to be frank with each other, that I am concerned about some of the reports which I have seen from the New York Post, September 15, 1998, Abdul Rahman Al-Modi declared an interest in destroying America, and further talked about boycotting America and destroying Israel. And at a rally on October 28th of last year, there was support for Hamas and Hezbollah. But I think it is important not to try to destroy the United States, not to destroy Israel, and not to destroy Muslims, and not to deport Muslims without a fair hearing.
Well, joining us at our table is Eric Vickers, Executive Director of the American Muslim Council. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
What is the American Muslim Council?
The American Muslim Council is one of the oldest Muslim political and civic organizations in the United States. It was founded by a number of people in 1990, and its mission is to promote American Muslims moving into mainstream America in the political arena, in the civic arena, in enterprise, and so on. And also, our mission is to educate America about Islam.
Eric Vickers, you touched on 9/11 very briefly.
Yes.
What would you say are the biggest misperceptions about Islam in this country?
Oh, clearly that it's a terrorist, violent religion. This continuous association by the media with Islam and terrorism has really created a very negative stereotype about it. And
some of the news coming out of your meeting is here in the Washington Post, a photo of the FBI Director, Robert Mueller, addressing your organization yesterday. He thanked them for providing, quote, substantive assistance to the government investigation of the September 11th attacks. We will look at a brief clip from Robert Mueller and then come back in a moment to talk with Eric Vickers.
As I'm sure you're aware and has been mentioned, my appearance here today has created or generated some controversy. And while that certainly did not deter me from coming, as with most matters, I believe it is best to address it openly. And my reason for being here is simple. And the reason for being here is to continue our discussion and to help build a relationship that I am convinced is beneficial to us all. But I also think it important to be open and frank about the concerns of those who urged me not to attend. Like all Americans, you were shocked and outraged by the terrorist hijackings, and you quickly condemned them. As Dr. Basha has said, echoing sentiments from across the nation, Muslim Americans felt violated by the attacks, and he wasted no time in denouncing those horrible acts in the strongest language possible. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Nonetheless, you've not always spoken with one voice. Unfortunately, persons associated with this organization have in the past made statements that indicate support for terrorism and for terrorist organizations. And I think we can, Muslims and non-Muslim alike, justifiably be outraged by such statements. No perceived political or other agenda justifies acts of terrorism. And we must be, as Dr. Basha is, loud in our condemnation of acts of terrorism.
Eric Vickers of the American Muslim Council, your reaction to Robert Mueller's speech?
Well, I thought his speech was very well balanced. What was more interesting was the controversy surrounding the speech. There were very overt attempts made to prevent him from coming. Adversaries of AMC tried to paint the organization as having some sort of links to terrorism.
Minaj, you're head of the Police Chief's Independent Citizens Advisory Board here regarding racial profiling.
Yeah, I have a police ID.
You think there's Muslim profiling that goes on here?
Not in Overland Park.
In 2016, Minaj Shabir, on a panel, disclosed that she had police identification for Overland Park, Kansas Police Department as an advisory board member. Minaj Shabir has troubling associations with Al-Qaeda. How does she pass a background check to get a police identification?
As having some sort of links to terrorism. As having some sort of links to terrorism.